Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, July 5th, and I've made Sundays a reflection day, as it should be for most of us. Some of us go to church to reflect, but I want to make sure that we're stopping and deliberately reflecting on what we've experienced in the past week or so. Um, we've had a lot of stuff in the news about monuments and Black Lives Matter, and um, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I want to try not to talk too long, but I might start rambling, so cut me some slack. A couple of days ago, I mentioned Washington taking command of the Continental Army. And also, 157 years ago, on July 3rd, that was the anniversary of Pickett's Charge, which was the last of the fights in the Battle of Gettysburg. And Gettysburg is considered the high water mark of the Confederacy, but it also is considered the turning point of the war. It's when the South really started to lose the Civil War. And I want to contrast Washington and Robert E. Lee a little bit. Both were great generals. There's no denying that they were great generals, and they're both worthy of study by military officers for their ability to strategize and their ability to execute a strategy and win. Both were rebels against a government they thought was oppressing their way of life. Washington, of course, was the traitor to the crown, and Lee was the traitor to the Constitution that he swore an oath to support and defend. But winners get to write history. One of the big differences, though, okay, so Washington was a traitor to the crown, but he's our founding father. He's the father of our country, first president. Things are named after him everywhere, but he was a slaveholder. Robert E. Lee was a slaveholder. Lee lost. And in most places, traitors are executed. But in an effort to heal the nation, Lincoln didn't prosecute the leaders of the Confederacy as traitors. They didn't look too favorably on Jefferson Davis, but we'll talk about that some other day. I think maybe because we didn't do some things that we needed to do back then and allowed things to propagate, we forgot that those guys, that the South lost. We forgot that the Confederacy lost. Now, I've studied the Civil War for years. I consider myself sympathetic with the South, right? I grew up in Kentucky, but hell, I had a rebel flag on the front of my truck for a long time until an African-American staff sergeant of mine at Stetson University, I got a chance to talk to him, and he told me how it made him feel. And I borrowed a screwdriver from him right then, and I went and I removed that rebel flag from my truck, and I've never referred to it since. It's a symbol of hate to too many people. I put it on my truck to honor Southern heritage without really realizing how hurtful and destructive it could be. Same applies to all of you. Okay. From the Black Lives Matter side, we can't destroy everything that represents everyone who ever held a slave or ever did anything bad against some other person. If we did that, we'd be destroying the history of civilization. Because everywhere we've done great things, and in the same breath, we do hateful and destructive and evil things. I guess that's part of the human condition. What we need to be able to do is learn how to work together, learn how to talk together. And that's where love really comes in. And that's where love really is a decision that we've got to make. You know, you're not going to fall in love with people you're absolutely diametrically, politically, rationally opposed to. But you can make a decision to sit down and talk with them. We need more of that talking. We need more of this reflection. So what I'm going to start, at the beginning of the pandemic, I did a couple of weekly lean coffees. And I'm going to start those again. And I'm going to do those on Wednesday at noon Eastern on my Zoom channel. And I want you to join me. It's a lean coffee. It's a structured way to have a practical focused dialogue about issues that are important to us. So if you want an invitation, direct message me, send me a text on my phone, send me an email, contact me somehow, okay? I'll send you the invitation. I'll also create the event in Facebook, and I hope you'll join me so we can start this dialogue. And maybe, we start with a few of us, and we have a little practical discussion. We try to see things eye to eye. We collaborate on creating a future. Please join me, and I'll see you tomorrow.